Welcome to the live stream video podcast, Issues Matter. Hosted by Pastor Aaron Phillips. Each week, Pastor Phillips will focus on timely issues, which affect the lives of citizens of the neighborhoods of the greater Cleveland area. This is a live broadcast, so Pastor Phillips encourages viewers to call in and participate in discussions. Your input and points of view are important, as we attempt to dig as deep as possible into those issues that play a role in our daily lives. So, without further ado, here is your host, our fearless leader, Pastor Aaron Phillips.
Another crazy resolution got introduced, and that's House Joint Resolution number 2.
Okay.
So House Joint Resolution number 2 was basically saying, hey, we realize that you guys have figured out how to play the game. Y'all have figured out how to rally people out there to get people to vote for stuff. We have figured out that you know how to pass citizen-led amendments, no matter if it's the casinos or increasing the minimum wage, so we're going to change the goalposts. So the current goalpost right now is that you have to have 50% plus 1 to pass any constitutional amendment.
Okay.
I, as an elected official, have to get at least 50% plus 1 to win an election in the general. That's it.
Okay.
So if that's my standard to get elected, why wouldn't that be the same standard
For
the
an
Constitution? Exactly. So with this one, now is it not only, it's not going to be 50% plus 1, it has to be 60% threshold for it to happen. And on top of that, currently if you want to get a citizen-led amendment, you have to have signatures from 44 counties. And for those at home who do not know, there's 88 counties in the state of Ohio. Some of these counties have like 2,000 people in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Imagine how to get 5% of counties that only have 2,000 people.
Right.
So they changed the goalposts.
Right.
You got to get a higher threshold, and then it also has to get more signatures just to put on the ballot. And so every time we learn the game, we figured out the rules, and we can organize our people, the goalposts change.
Right.
So SJR2 was a Senate Joint Resolution number 2, was passed in the Senate first, then it came over to the House, and then it passed over in the House. Very bipartisan, partisan lines. And this is a Republican-led effort to hold us back.
Now what I don't understand, and I pride myself in understanding this, and if it passed in the state legislature, what's it doing on the ballot in all the city?
Because it's a constitutional change. So it's much to change our constitution. Anytime we at the State House want to change the Constitution, we have to take it to the voters. So now it's in the people's hand to decide do they want to add more guardrails to this.
But wait a minute. So wouldn't this qualify for a special election?
It would.
So how are they getting around that?
So we have added, in the process of trying to do the Senate Joint Resolution number 2, there was another bill where the special election was added. So we're adding, we had a really good bill. Yes.
You're blowing my mind.
We have my colleague who stood on the floor of the House and said special elections are a waste of money. So before we answer this next question, guess how much it's costing for the special election?
I'll take it, Scott. $4 million.
It's too low.
Too low?
Too low.
$4 million is too low?
It's too low. We're talking about big money.
$20 million?
We're at $20 million.
No.
So $20 million
Jesus.
for one day, for one issue on the ballot, so people can...
These are the Republicans?
These are
These
Republicans.
are the Republicans that I know.
This is not no John McCain Republican.
No, they are not. What happened to those conservative guys?
I think they're in a corner somewhere. They might be low-key Democrats by this time.
Right
now. But they've changed the rules. They've changed the rules. So now we have a $20 million election on our hands. Guess how much the state has decided to pay for it?
What do you mean?
So,
What do you mean?
The elections cost, what do you mean? What do you mean? Elections cost money. Where do you think this, how do you think who's going to pay for it?
The state don't pay for it.
No.
Which is taxpayer money on raise the tax or something, but yeah, the state has to.
Okay, so since you living in a false reality.
I must be. Get me out of this matrix.
I'm helping you out.
Get me out of this matrix.
I'm out the matrix.
Yeah.
Reel you into reality. So the state's going to pay 15. The rest of the counties have to pay the $5 million.
Oh, wow, that's good.
The same county that has never budgeted to have a special election out of nowhere.
So every county?
Every county has to contribute towards that $5 million.
And how is that divided? Is it divided
It's
equally?
off of the amount of people. So that's just the
How much?
biggest share.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's dirty. That's some dirty politics right there. That's some dirty, low down, but smart. But dirty with low down politics.
And so you know where that money is taken away from. The money
Yep.
that's going to our diversion center, that could go for
Yep.
that. The money that could be going to our kids that are in foster
Yep,
care.
there you go.
The need for
See?
information for housing, so many different things, or
That's
social
right.
services. We're having to use it towards.
Money for bus passes. I done got
Yes.
people who need bus passes for work all the time, and they don't. They used to be free. You go down there and walk, but if you don't have that 5, you ain't riding. I'll tell you what. Were you a teacher in another life?
I feel like we are all schooling each other.
Well, I'll tell you what. You are doing a great job of teaching today, young lady. You're doing a fantastic job. I just can't believe. Well, I can believe it because they're low down. It's just not right. And and what really gets me, how did they get to put it in August? What gave them the right to do that? I mean, really what I'm saying, there was nobody to challenge what they were doing. Nobody went to the Supreme Court and said this isn't right.
So it was people, concerned
Okay.
citizens like ourselves here in Cleveland who went to the Supreme Court. And
Okay.
when you don't have the numbers on your side because elections do matter, things like this happen. So now we're sitting here with a $20 million price tag, $20 million that could have went to our roads and bridges, $20 million that could have went to public transit that's not equitably funded. Let's not even get started on public transit.
That's right.
So $20 million that could have gone to the diversion services or the food bank that we
Right.
desperately need,
Right.
or services for our senior citizens, or
That's
for our
right.
veterans, or mental health services,
That's right.
or for backing the police that people love to say they love and care so much about, or the local
Absolutely.
government fund which pays for the police and fire and your roads and bridges locally. And so we have to just think about, this is money that's taken away from all of our pockets. And it's basically telling us, the State House is telling us, the Ohioans do not feel seen when it comes to state money being spent.
Wow. That's true. That's terrific. I am so glad that you are leading this effort. I have learned so much just from listening to you. And I knew a little bit about it, but I'm say, boy, she really knocked the ball out to the park right there. You did fantastic. And we'll take a moment because I think somebody called me, and I said, maybe are we connected good? I know we are listeners. Sometimes they'll call and say, so somebody may call and say something's wrong with the feed. So why don't you guys give us a select. This is the Shirt House Band. They're every Sunday and every time we podcast. The good thing about podcasts is it's going to keep on running, keep on running, keep on running. We're live now, but it's going to run forever. And so we'll be able to post this and let folks know there is an election next with August the 8th of this year. Go ahead and play something. We have some literature here, and is there a number for people to call? How can we get engaged? Is there some effort that's going to be on election day for poll workers?
Yes.
Tell us how we can, what do we need? Get your arm, this gets us started together.
This is that everybody's concerned. Everybody should be concerned about this. If you've ever been concerned about your wage is not where it should be, if you're concerned about a livable wage, if you're concerned about the ratio of nurses to patients, you should be involved. If you're concerned about your health care, you should be involved. If you're concerned about public access to public transit, you should be concerned. If you're concerned about reproductive justice, you should be concerned. If you're concerned about criminal justice, this is an everybody problem.
Yeah.
If you are trying to find materials that Pastor Phillips has in his hand, please come to 3615 Superior Avenue. We're right there at the corner. There's a bunch of blue signs. It's the Chicago County Democratic Party. We're not even going to ask you your party affiliation. It's a welcome process. All we do is ask you, would you like some water? Would you like some pop? Would you like some coffee? And how do you want to come serve? Just the same way this church is.
That's
don't
right.
ask no questions.
That's right.
We just want you to come participate. And so we are looking for people to do postcards, come do canvassing, come make phone calls, or just come get a yard sign. Like, we need people involved because this is an everybody problem, and nobody is coming to save us.
That's right.
Nobody. And if people will disenfranchise and change the goal mark every time they feel like we understood what's going on,
Right.
then they will continue to do that every time something comes on. It's interesting because I was talking to a gentleman who's trying to change the ratio, the nurse ratio, nurses to patient ratio. He lives in Maple Heights. Really nice man. He's trying to introduce something called Carol's Law.
Right.
And
Yeah.
really nice guy. He's trying to put it on the ballot.
Yes, I'm with him. I signed it.
Exactly. So am I. And so if we're thinking about all of us, maybe one day might need to be in a nursing home.
That's right.
Wouldn't you want to have good nursing to patient ratio?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No different than everybody in this state deserves criminal justice. We want criminal justice reform. That's going to need to be on the ballot. Redistricting. Because of redistricting, literally, I have a district where the district is wrapped around my house like a box. Literally.
Right.
My neighbors 4 doors down from me are in a different district, and the neighbors on the other side of me 8 doors down are in a different district.
Wow.
Extreme gerrymandering.
Yes.
That could be on the ballot.
Yes.
We can talk about the use of cannabis. If you're concerned about cannabis here in our state, that's going to be on the ballot in November. Whatever your issue is, whatever your why, you need to make sure you come out and vote no. Because this is an everybody problem and nobody's coming to save us. Somebody asked me today, they said, well, why are people having to pay for yard signs? No one's coming to save us. We're going to have to put some skin in the game. And if you can't afford a sign, then do what I used to do back in the day. Go to the dollar store, get you a white piece of paper, and draw a no on issue 1. And make something shake. But we are going to have to figure this out together because no one's coming to save us. We are the cavalry.
Yes, well said, well said. Do we have some folks here, you want to ask a question, you may, there's a microphone in WBeyond. If anybody, I want to, okay, I think we covered it. Now, tell us what hours can we come to the,
You can come from 10 to 5, Monday through Friday, at 3615 Superior Avenue.
okay?
If there's going to be a bridge right next to Yonder's, if you know where Yonder's is, it's some good black-owned food restaurant. It's right on the other side of the bridge, so you can go get you some food from Yonder, shameless plug for them. You can come past the bridge and then come over to the Chicago County Democratic Party.
Yes, it's a great place. Been there several times. I'm always going there eating good food and things like that. Come on, Ed, you can ask a question or make a comment.
What's the days and the hours that it's open?
So Monday through Friday from 10 to 5,
Okay.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
For no weekends.
So we sometimes are there on the weekends, but I don't want to put that time out because we are there a lot of times on Saturday. Never really there on Sundays, but we're definitely there on Saturday.
Okay, fantastic. And thank you for all your service that you're doing. Now, what about election day? Are we gonna have troops on the ground
We
at
definitely
the
have
polls?
to have people there on the polls. But I would tell people, there's no point in having people on the polls if we didn't do the work in advance of election day. Because there's nobody that's gonna be at the polls if we didn't do the work of canvassing, phone calling,
Yeah.
making text messaging, and passing out literature in advance. There's a lot of people who tell me all the time, they said, Reb, we want to get paid for being at the polls. And I said, there's no point in investing into that if we are not getting the people out of their home there first. So let's start off with the basic stuff, and that's knocking on doors. Let's make sure we start with the basic stuff and buying these yard signs. Let's start off with the basic stuff and making these phone calls. So we can know that if we are investing into your community, we also know that people are going to show up to the polls, and that's where we're going to have people working at the polls, where we make those investments.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, thank you for your service and your work. I would really like people to know when somebody says you are authentic in what you're doing. I tell folks, I can do what I can do, and I'm pretty good at it for myself. But if you're asking Ray and Pookie and them who have no jobs, who are desperate who need stuff, I can't get them without putting some money in their hands. And I'm good at that when you give me the money. And you can only do so much without money.
I agree.
I wish we could give you a boatload, and you can do some damage. I'm telling you, and that's what I'm promoting. I really appreciate your authenticity, and I've never seen this side. I have to say, I've taken on a radio show a couple. You have a real clear authenticity that and glow about you today. I've never seen, and I'm telling you, that's the anointing God on you. That's really what that is. And I will tell you, you are glowing, and we need to support you the way they supported the lady in Georgia. What's her name? Was it Abrams? Stacey Abrams. You could be our Stacey Abrams, ma'am. And they need to put more money. And that's what's wrong. That's why I can't stand. Me and Angela have this conversation all the time. That's why I can't stand about the Democrats with the Republicans. They will put money in BS. They put money in this. Do you know, I know black people who have, I know some black people who have been paid to support issue 1. They're telling our people, say yes. And they're giving the money. That is a hard thing to fight. You can't fight this. Money is a tool. It's not evil. The love of money is evil. It's a tool. And we have people on our side who have the tools, and they need to unleash that to us. Just because we have black and brown skin, don't mean that you can't trust us with money.
That's just true. All skin folks and chicken folks.
Absolutely. I'm telling you. And I am so, I'll tell you, thank God for you. And that's why we need to have real serious discussion. It costs money to be in this building. I was paying these guys. I love them, they love me. But they ain't that much love in the world. And I don't mind, because they're worth it.
And I do believe there's a value of making sure that people are okay, because we got to understand this thing of just meeting people where they're at. Because we want people to serve, but you don't want people serving, they're hungry. You don't want people serving and they don't have a way to get there.
But let me tell you, it even goes further than that. I've seen it happen. And to tell you, we have won fights that we weren't supposed to win. You know why? Because we're paying Pookie, but Pookie going to get his other people. Man, come on, this is my job. You got to help me with my job. And the people he going to get, he ain't got to pay them, but he's so excited he getting them. We have seen it work. We have beat people that was supposed to win because we went and got them. They had to come up with a whole new strategy. Okay, we got to put somebody else in the race. They're going to keep on doing that. That's how they got it. You got what I'm saying? But you got it. Money is a tool. I mean, listen, the dope man knows that. That's how you get the boys off the corner. There's no secret. We're not giving away the family secrets here. It's just the truth.
And if our minimum wage was a livable wage, then it would be so easy to get people out in the streets.
Absolutely.
So we just have to think of the bigger picture of what's all at stake.
Absolutely.
It's telling our community we've learned the rules, but because we learned the rules, they didn't change the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I have an old auntie. This is what she told me. She said, baby, I said, man, one day they changed the rules on me. She said, no, baby, this is what happened. You think you played football, and you show up with your football uniform, helmet and shoulder pad and cleats, and they got on basketball clothes. They don't change the whole game. They ain't changing. They just switch the whole game on you. But that's what happened. But that shows really how powerful that we really. I think sometimes we don't really understand the power that we really have. But they fight it. That's why they always put these rules. Sometimes I don't think we know it.
I've seen it in my own family. It's a picture of my grandmother. If you ever come down to the office, it's a picture of her protesting in front of Coca-Cola. And as much as we love to drink our pop, she protested back there in the 50s about how they were not properly treating black people that were employed. And it's not to make this about been fighting, we've been organizing. I think just for a second in time, we forgot the importance of continuing to do that.
Yes.
We got lax, and we felt like, well, we didn't made it enough. Pookie didn't bought a house now, he ain't got to be on the street no more.
Right.
But it's still a little ray that's still out there.
Right.
So it's still more of us that still need to be out here, still advocating, still organizing. We never stop organizing.
Come on.
You never stop organizing, no matter how far you think you got. You never stop organizing. And I think these moments of losing affirmative action, of issue one trying to pass, and us not be able to have real police reform within our community is letting us know you never stop organizing. There's always something to fight for, not just against.
All right, let's transition to our next guest. Ms. Angela Davis, I don't know how you're going to follow that. But thank you. That was fantastic. We're going to keep on posting that over and over and over again. That was well said. And she has to come to church one Sunday and say that. And I didn't know that was your church home.
Yes.
I did not know that.
I'm coaching.
That's good.
I'm going to Baptist people. I'm coaching.
Yeah.
I'm on denomination.
You don't think you say it. Yeah, right. Hey, oh, wait a minute. I'm still on live, ain't I? Am I still on?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to talk. Boy, that's really, I'm sorry about that, y'all. We're transitioning to our next guest. Give us a song as if you want somebody to make some changes and you need somebody, to have your back, you go call Angela Davis. And she knows how to get it done. She does not, she is, I know you hear this all the time, she is the epitome of her name, Angela Davis. I don't know how that happened, but you act just like Angela Davis of the 60s. And I thank God for her activism. We need more Angela Davis of the world. And I'm not talking about just a couple of years. I remember when we was advocating for your son, right, in the school. How old is he now? 22. He's about 18. Yeah, and they wasn't treating him right. And she was at the school. This is a true story. See, people think I just be lying. I have deep roots in this community. I ain't just started then. I didn't just come here yesterday on a train and a bus. We was out there, and she was protesting, and there was a black CEO. Ain't that right? And we was, of course, we was with the black folks, and they didn't care. Black CEO not, Pastor done not, this ain't right. And they listened to her. And they made some changes, didn't they? And they brought her in and had her come on the inside, and they have changes right now at the Cleveland Municipal School District because of you. Isn't that true? Give her a big, I'm telling you, I know this young lady right here. I don't need no script. Some people need script. I live this though. I don't, it's in my soul, Angela. That's why when you call me, what I do? I answer the phone, don't I? If I miss the call, I call you back, don't I? Now, I don't do everybody like that. So, but I thank God that she has done work on 2 initiatives. One of them is directly impacting what we just got to talking about with raising the minimum wage, which should have been done, right? But tell us about what you're working on and how we can get involved.
So the 2 initiatives I'm working on is raising the minimum wage, which Ben is going to talk about.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about the kinship care program.
All right, so introduce us to Ben.
So Ben is my brother from another mother.
Okay.
In the trenches with me.
Okay.
I call him, he's coming, like he's here today.
Okay.
And he is one of the leads for the minimum wage increase.
Okay.
That's why I thought it was best to bring him in.
That's
Because he's a
fantastic.
little more knowledgeable than me.
Well, no, you know, if he do with you, he do with us. So, okay, Ben, you got it.
Hi, my name is Ben. I just wanted to thank you for having me on. The drummer, fantastic. Bassist, fantastic. Keyboardist, you're all amazing. I was surprised by just how great this band was.
Yeah. We do it every Sunday. This is how we get out.
No, yeah. Juanita Brent, she was a fantastic speaker. I apologize, I was looking at my phone at the end because I was trying to find, they just released, just a couple months ago. It was something like 13 million in tax credits for the businesses, for the Dane Business District in Central Cleveland.
Okay.
So the mall right down the street from the Rock Hall is just getting massive amounts of tax credits being spent.
Oh, yeah, what's the name of that? Not Tower City, the other one. They are doing some innovations with that. They used to, this got a name for it. Y'all know, it's on Lakeside. Yeah, not Mall C, a little down further. They're gonna build a hotel in there. I know what mall you're talking about. I can't get the.
The idea was to bring in like specifically wealthy people.
Mm-hmm. Right, that's right.
I just can't help but wonder when I saw that, like, we had all this money for bringing rich people in, but when you look at the neighborhoods around us, like, I'll walk down some streets and there's just a completely dilapidated house.
Do you live here in Cleveland?
I've been doing political work in Cleveland a lot, so I walk around and I talk to people. I worked on a few campaigns doing that. I live out in Brunswick, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do most of my work here. I started when I was...
Well, only asked because we've been talking about that forever. So with Cleveland, we know that the lion's share has always been going to the rich folks downtown, and the neighborhoods are really not disturbed. That's a good. We had an old mayor for like that, right? For the last 12 years.
Yeah, they spend so much
16 years.
money on the rich, but when it comes to us in Cleveland, like,
So we're going to raise the minimum wage we're talking about in the city of Cleveland or in the state of Ohio?
this is a statewide ballot.
Okay, good.
We're trying to change the Ohio Constitution, so this is directly affected by issue 1.
Oh my God, really? Wait a minute, changing the minimum wage you have to do by the Constitution?
Yes, it's a part of the Constitution. I think the last time it was changed was actually in 2006.
How is that the constitutional issue? I mean, you probably know the answer to that, but I should know the answer to that, but I don't know the answer to that. How is it? But you got to change. I can know you put something on the ballot, but you're talking about you have to change the Constitution. We just have to sign a petition to put it on the ballot because the state legislature won't put it on the ballot. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We want to stay away from having to endorse like certain questions. We want to make this as apolitical as possible because it's an issue that affects everyone. Everyone from from people out in farm country, Ohio.
So how many signatures do we need?
640,000.
Across how many counties?
44 currently.
Okay, so that's directly how impact issue 1 goes in. So we're still on the old rule, and we don't want that to change, right? So and if it changes, it's going to make it even harder for us to get the issue done if it changes. So we better get this done right now, right? That's what we're talking about, right? There's a sense of urgency. So when is this going to be on the ballot, y'all?
So it's going to be on the ballot in November 2020.
So we have, how many months is that? 4 or 5 months?
November 2024, so that would be...
Oh, 2024.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. A whole year.
Oh, well, there's some good news finally.
Yes.
We thank you for some good news, because I don't get what you know, you ain't cuss. What? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I cuss so much, I got to tell people I don't cuss. I'm so sorry. I'm working on that.
No,
I'm going to get better, I promise. So now listen, so... what are we doing? So what's the plan? What's the strategy? We got people in the streets. You need to get some folks in the. What do we need to do? You can do petitions here, but we need to get them out, right?
So really, it does first start with issue 1 and trying to ensure that we aren't being pushed back, because what's going to happen with issue 1, regardless, is we're not going to have. We're going to have to pretty much. I don't know how much we have to, but it goes from 50 to 60%. And
so you mean, wait a minute. Let me backtrack and say.
Percentage of every.
So if issue 1 passed, the initiative to raise minimum wage would be under that rule?
There's some fate to it depending on how many signatures we get within the next few months, before August 8th. So if there's a certain clause where you get grandfathered into it based on how many signatures you already have.
Oh, okay. Little loophole. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're trying to fit in a loophole.
Yes.
So we can be safe no matter what.
The ideal situation would be we fit through the loophole and
do both. Do both. Yeah. Do both. Right. We want to do both. You're absolutely right. We need to do both.
Because this will affect.
So how many signatures do you need for the loophole?
I think it's somewhere close to around 500,000, I believe.
500,000 for the loophole?
Yeah.
But you only need 600,000 for the whole shebang. What kind of loophole is that? A loophole? That's a big hole.
Don't quote me on it. I'm not 100% sure. I know it's a lot, and I want to convey a sense of urgency. The fact that
I know. So that's why we got to get. Listen, I'm asking these questions. This question's gonna be asked to me because I'm gonna go to the pastors and tell them, hey, this is what we need to do. Get them energized. Get them at the churches. So I mean, I'm trying to get you like 10,000 just from the church community. But I got to ask these questions. So they're going to ask me, then we can have you come on the clergy question and talk about this stuff. So it's a whole thing. So I want to get you prepared because you're a good face, right? To talk about the minimum wage. We need your face out there talking about that, and that's a good thing. So I really appreciate you coming on. And if you got all of us are registered voters. So if you got a petition here now, can you lead the petition, or does the person have to? Those rules, how does that go?
I drive around with a box of petitions in my car, so I'll be happy to get you guys signed up.
Can you lead petitions here and we collect signatures? Is that permissible?
I'm going to have to talk to somebody just.
Because I'm not sure. Sometimes
you're allowed.
Sometimes they'll disqualify.
Yeah.
Right, Miss Haley, am I right about that? Yeah. Because she works at the Harvard Community Center, so she knows that because otherwise they would just. I bet you. Can we ask you a question?
No.
We already know.
We can't.
I didn't think so.
Yeah, because I left one at Pastor Bunch's church.
Okay.
And when I wanted to turn in my petitions, she was like, well, no, because they're not an official circulator.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So that book would be disqualified.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's right. I knew there were some rules about that. But we'll help you, and we'll get you into our congregations. All across, I'm not just talking about, there's a collective of churches that we all work together on these issues. Okay, and so
I started Sunday.
Yeah, right.
The bunch, minor,
Okay.
engaged.
Oh, see, well, she's already in the loop with getting the recs. So we need to know this and we'll get it out, okay?
Yeah.
All right, well, appreciate you. Give them a big hand. Thank you for a fantastic job. All right, tell us, Angela, about the foster prayer program. I've been so interested in this, and I want you to come on a few
So
weeks ago.
I am here to talk about the kinship care program. And we know that program is very relevant, especially in communities of color.
Yes,
Because Pookie and Ray Ray and Shakrisha is out there doing their thing.
right.
Drugs or in jail, and they don't left their babies behind.
That's right.
And grandma's struggling trying to take care of these extra miles that she has to
That's
feed.
right. That's right.
And so there is a program with the county called Kinship Care where grandma can get that financial assistance that she needs for
Fantastic.
taking care of Pookie and Ray Ray and Shakrisha's kids when
Oh,
they're
praise God.
getting high or in jail or just not being responsible parents.
Do they have to have full custody of the kid?
Yes, they have to have custody or be in the process of gaining custody
Okay,
in
okay,
order to get these funds.
okay.
There's a program out here, and of course, communities of color don't know about it
Right.
because it's not being shared, and so, you know me, I got to go out in the
Let's get the
communities
word
of
out.
color, yeah.
So now, will they help you with, because sometimes we don't even know the process. I know a lot of older folks that don't even, I be talking to them about it, and they don't even know the process and go, do they help you with that, or do they?
Yes, the program will help you with that. The spokesperson for it was supposed to come with me, but she couldn't make it. Hopefully I'll be able to set her up with you at a later date.
Sure.
But yeah, they will definitely help you through the process. Will help whoever needs assistance
That's what's
through the
important.
process to get the money.
Okay. So how much, so we're talking about what you would normally get as a foster parent, or even more than that?
I think it might be a little more than
Oh,
what a
wow.
foster parent gets.
That's fantastic.
But
And if they're staying with their family. That's what I
Yeah.
really love about
Yeah.
that, this program. And I have several folks in our congregation and know several others that have been taking care of their grandchildren.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And so we've lost a whole generation. You know, we just trying to capture them. But there is a remnant. I have noticed as the church says me, I was visiting churches, and there's a remnant of young folks that are really seeking God. There's a remnant of folks, and I didn't know that, and I'm seeing that with some of the young folks, and I thought, man, Jesus, this is what we got to look forward to. We're all in trouble, but I see there's some hope out here. I'm appreciative of that.
Well, we didn't just start losing generations. I'm grandma baby. Grandma breastfed me till I was 3. Yeah, so I'm a grandma baby. So yeah.
Well, you're the first generation. Yeah, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But there wasn't no question.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, you know what I mean? It wasn't even it's just that's what you do.
Yeah.
But now it became a whole, that wasn't the norm.
Yeah, I was grandma's
Yeah.
first granddaughter.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm saying. That wasn't the norm. That was,
Yeah,
you're that first
Yeah,
generation.
she going home with me and
Yeah,
bye-bye.
right.
She don't need you for
For
nothing.
nothing, right.
I'm a breastfeeder too.
Right.
And that's what she did.
Well, that's amazing. You already told me about that. How did you do that? Maybe that's what.
Well, because her baby is only a little older than me, so when he got done breastfeeding, I just jumped right on him.
Oh, wow. So your uncle.
Yeah, he's only a year older than me, so as
Oh,
she
wow.
weaned him off, I just plopped right on it. But I breastfed for a long time. I did. I breastfed till I was 3.
So you were 3?
Grandma let me breastfeed till I was 3.
Oh, you was spoiled.
I was.
Oh, okay then. Yeah, well that is, all this is really coming together now. Okay, all right, it's all making sense. So, no. Oh, it's always a pleasure to even know more about you and like that. I did not know.
Yeah, my
But,
grandmother was a community activist. She fought for JFK and went door to door for him, and Robert Kennedy, she did all of that.
See, that's what's missing. That's why church is so important. That's why this programs like these are so important, because we are able to tell our own story. People may not even see this until years later. They'll be able to say, we did our part, tell our own story. And that's what we're doing, and we're fighting for that. You know, crazy people don't want to take Black history out of school. I preached about this. Okay. We still don't know our Black history because we was learning it before it was in the schools. We learned it in church. So you ain't hurt nobody but yourself. You just gonna be more ignorant. But we've been teaching. You know, I knew about Martin and Malcolm. I didn't have to wait for some teacher who graduated from Harvard. No, I didn't read all that in church. What my family generation, the story that was told. And thank God for you. Keep up the good work. We need to get more people involved. Who do they call? Give us a telephone number. If there's going to be a grandmother or grandfather watching right now. Okay. Pastor Phillips, will you please ask her, how do I get in touch with her? And I want to get a part of this program. Who do I call?
So they can give me a call at 216-324-8585.
You give me your real telephone number?
Yes. Pastor,
You don't have no.
Everybody has my real phone number because I can get a phone call in the middle of the night saying there's a kid missing. I got to get up and go. So I don't do.
Okay, and you'll give them the information and have direct them to the county. You'll give them that the direction.
Absolutely, I can
okay.
email them the application if that's what they need.
All right, you want them to? Can they email you?
Sure.
Give me your email address.
My email address is all lowercase letters: A as in apple, N as in Nancy, Y as in yellow, V as in Victor, G as in green, E as in egg, D as in dog, A as in apple @gmail. Don't try to make it a word, Pastor.
Okay, I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make what is that spell?
It's the first two letters of all of my names. Angela Yvette Germany Davis.
I'm trying. What does that spell? I heard some letters that go with it.
You heard Eddie, and then you trying to make the rest of it a word.
Yeah, I was trying to make it.
It's not a word,
I was trying to make it a word. Okay, okay. Well, that's all right. You got me on that one. Well, thank you. Thank you. This has been a fantastic program. Thank you to all of us who joined us today. You can continue to watch this. It's going to post. It'll be on the Cleveland Clergy Coalition website page as well as the Shore House Baptist Church page. Feel free to share it with your friends and family members, but make sure we're getting out to vote August 8th. We've got to get out to vote. Vote no. Vote no. Vote absolutely no on issue 1. Vote no. No matter who tells you to vote yes, no is the answer to that question. Vote absolutely no for that. And we'll be making sure that we are supporting finally needing to raise the minimum wage. That's something that's long overdue. So we got to stand up and fight. Particularly, I'm going to slice. I'm telling her right now. I'm going to slice the State Representative Brick statement. I'm going to slice that up. I'm going to post that everywhere on my social media page. Everybody go. So that was such a good word that she gave. Got to keep on fighting. Organizing, that is so true. Yes. Organizing never stops.
It doesn't.
It's just like the church. It don't stop. It don't stop. So we're not going to stop. Thank you for sharing with us today. Thank you to Shore House Band. Thank you, Mr. Levert. Play us out something. We'll see you when we see you. Probably next week. We'll be right here with Issues Matter with Pastor Aaron Phillips.
The organization I'm with, One Fair Wage, we have our office at a 11910 Lakewood on Detroit Avenue. If you see us, please come in, fill out a form. We're trying to get more volunteers. We're trying to.
Okay.
We offer jobs at a rate of $15 an hour.
Then you should have led with that. Where's it again?
11910 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio.
Should I ask for you? Until you send them?
I'm there most days.
Tell Ben send me.
Yeah, and look us up on our website at onefairwage.org.
And we're actually probably about to get an office over at Pastor Ron's church. I know.
Oh, cool.
We've been in communication with him, so he'll probably be the church where the east side office is.
That's cool. All right, well, with you, brother. Thank you. All right, God bless you. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.
This has been the live video podcast, Issues Matter. Hosted by Pastor Aaron Phillips. Join us next week as we dig into other issues that affect the lives of everyday citizens of the greater Cleveland area. Until then, stay safe and stay woke.